My most popular article on my website is Schefflera care. I won't lie, I actually can't say Schefflera reliably, but I'm going to go through the care. I've recently done a video, and by recently I mean less than a minute ago, on rubber plant care. And I did sort of consider doing them together because I can't think of any differences in terms of care. The only things you really need to worry about is light and water. They are more pest prone than rubber plants because they've got thinner leaves. They will sustain damage, but they can also throw them off better than other plants. I'm talking specifically to you, Philodendron verrucosum, who has been banished to outside. So I've had my Schefflera, I want to say I got it in about 2019, and it has grown fine. I used to think it went through phases. So when all my other plants stopped growing, this one would start almost like it had sucked their energy away. But as soon as, when like October hits and you notice that your plants have stopped, the ones that grow fast, like pothos and stuff, they've just stopped and like the leaves are a bit shitty. That is when I would get the little claw come up from the Schefflera. I do love a new Schefflera, like little claw. And it would grow well for a few weeks and then I just wouldn't get anything. But it didn't bother me because it grew fine. And it was just one of those plants that didn't really seem to care. So when it comes to your light, your humidity, your temperature, it's difficult to get it so wrong that your plant will die. As long as you're doing the basics of like not overwatering it, it's difficult to get it wrong. But they do grow very leggy, like the petioles are so long, the internodal spacing is so long, and it's then that you need to support it. And there isn't really a way of supporting them other than this sort of stick. I mean, I've got a stick and a zip tie situation. And then I posted about it because it is one of my favourite plants because it is so chill. So I posted about it on my newsletter and a lady replied to me, hi Janet, and she said that she'd put hers in like a courtyard. I believe it was like an indoor courtyard, but it was significantly more light than it had before. And it grew like a trunk and it was like a tree and it was so well. So I was like, right, I'm going to move mine from, it had been getting fine, absolutely fine light, like long hours of fairly mediocre light, which is absolutely fine. And it grew fine and it grew faster than it had done when it was in like low light. But then I was like, do you know what? It was starting to get a bit spindly and sad and I was like, should I just whack it outside? I've done it with my rubber plants and it didn't burn as badly as the rubber plants, which is interesting because it's got much thinner leaves. But the new growth, it's just started growing all these new growth points like here and here. So it's still got the top on, like it's still, okay, you can see where I like chopped it there. But it's got all the way up the stem. You can't really see. Like you can see these bits, but there's this going all up the stem. And I was like, wow, now, it is stressed to hell. You can't really see. Yeah. Do you see this like reddish tinge? That's sun stress. Now, it's a plant. It's not there like, oh my God, I'm going to die. This is the plant's sunscreen. And when it's red like that, it's having to produce a lot of it. Now, botanists, this is obviously layman's terms, but I'm a layman, so we're calling it sunscreen. But I couldn't believe it. It happened so quickly, like this many growth points. I'm like, is this how you're supposed to grow? So I'm leaving it. It's staying outside, and I'm hoping. I don't know if I'm imagining that the trunk got thicker, but wow. So if you want to prune your Schefflera, go for it. It's not one of those like, I only want to do one growth point. It's like more. Propagation. In theory, it should be as easy as when you chop off the top, you're like, right, it's too spindly, chop off the top. Remove some of the leaves so you've got like a decent bare stem and pop it in water. And that's what I did. Like when I chopped this, I'm like, let's not waste it. Surely you need more plants. But it's not freaking done it. Have we got anything? No, not. So we've got the start of primordial roots. They sort of like, when they look, it looks like it's gone mouldy. It's not, it's the start of roots. And there's a lot of them. Like there's a lot of stuff, but they seem to be just browning off. So when I first took my Schefflera outside, this is why I chopped it. It started producing 3 leaves at once, and I was like, oh, you like this? So that's why I chopped it back, and we've got all this. But that's not. It's not the rubber plants. They're growing new leaves. I propagated those, and I've got new leaves, no roots. But yeah, I think we may be getting some. It's not rotting at the bottom at all there, so I think it is doing something. So yeah, this is how they tell you that you can propagate Schefflera. But for me, it's currently not working. The only one I've got this like monkey pot of cuttings. The only one that's doing anything is this one. This is a 50p Dracaena I got from Morrison's that I've never been able to get to do anything. And that's like, I know what to do. Everybody else is like, oh, shall I just grow another leaf? I wonder if propagating outside, now I've said it, it seems obvious. I wonder if it's too cold. That's just me being silly, isn't it? It's too cold for them to root. I will move them inside. Okay. I hope none of you have scary bugs on. When it comes to soil type, they don't care. Like, they don't care. I never repot. Do you know, I can't actually remember the last time I looked at the roots. This is like a self-watering pot, not one that I recommend. Should we just... Oh, she's in there. She might be due a repot. Ah, she's fine. Christ. I'm just not a proponent of repotting. Mainly because I've got so many plants. When I repot, I have to put them in a bigger pot. Like, where will it end? So what I'll probably do is at some point when she's got her growth points established, I might chop the roots. So then she can stay in the same pot. She is toxic, don't eat her. If you do eat her, you don't need to go to the doctors, but you do just need to be like aware that you've eaten something poisonous, and if you feel bad, go to the doctors. I don't believe they've got latex in them like the rubber plants. Can't remember. No, because it'd dribble down the stem. But they will have oxalic acid in the leaves, so there's that. They're not really prone to any specific problems. Like, there's a reason why they are a standard houseplant. They're just incredibly chill. As much light as you can. The more light, the more growth points, the bushier it will grow, the fewer problems you will have in general. When you water, think about how much light it gets. The less light it gets, the less water it will need. The more light it gets, the more water it will need. And that will go up exponentially, because if you keep it somewhere really warm and bright, not only will the plant use the water more, but it will evaporate. So yeah, whereas when it's not getting very much light, it won't use it and it won't evaporate. So you need to be very careful about not overwatering. That being said, they do have pretty strong roots. For something that has such fine roots, they're pretty chill. So if you think you're going to overwater it and keep it somewhere low light, one, don't. But also, if you put it in like a chunky soil, then it won't hold on to as much water. As I say, it does not care about water, about soil type. My current go-to soil is just perlite, orchid bark and houseplant potting mixed a sort of third each. But this plant won't care. It will not care. If you put it in just houseplant potting mix, yeah, it's a bit dense, but as long as you've put it in decent light, it will be fine. If they get too cold, they do get like covered in these weird spots. It doesn't hurt them. I mean, they probably don't like it, but it's a sign that it's too cold. In fact, there's a few things that will cause it to have those weird spots on the leaves. Root rot, temperature, even if like a bit of like pest issue, it does get these like weird spotty leaves. So yeah, but also like the sun stress is also called spotty leaves. So if it has spotty leaves, something's wrong, but it could be anything. That is one of the main problems with houseplants. So yeah, I hope this was useful. If you have a better way of propagating them, do let me know. Mine doesn't want to do it, probably because it is too cold. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.